So we got the Saints traveling to Washington to take on the Redskins, and the Saints are coming off a heartbreaking loss last week against the Giants, a game that we likely should have had, and it's just heartbreaking because there's so many different opportunities for us to put that ball game away. Uh, but on the bright side, I actually really loved what I saw out of my Saints offense. Now, we likely lose Tony Jones Jr. for a lot of weeks, and it makes a huge gap open in the two running back spot. I think it's likely going to be Dwayne Washington, and then we signed a guy named Mosick Bow to be the number 3, which I didn't love. I would have much rather Ty Montgomery transfer back to the running back position, uh, and maybe get Lil Jordan Humphrey back up off the practice squad. But they make choices. Saints have a whole bunch of players that are eligible to return this week. Eric McCoy and Teron Armstead both didn't practice this week, which likely means they're both not going to play this week. But Traquan Smith has a shot to return, as well as Nick Vannett, Marcus Davenport, Quan Alexander. All have shots at returning this week if they decide to, as well as if they decide they're healthy enough, as well as Ken Crawley can return. But if you look at the offense, it was actually a very good offensive day, a lot of offensive production. You look at it, we finally started to see what we wanted to see out of all these players. Marquez Callaway proving he can be the deep threat everyone thought he is. Deontay Harris, again, stepping up and being the number 1 receiver. Kenny Stills proving he can still has those burnings. Jawan Johnson doing his thing. Ty Montgomery and Chris Hogan both proving to be very solid, reliable veteran options. This is what we wanted to see out of the offense. Jameis Winston slinging it around. Alvin Kamara also being a huge part. This was, in my opinion, that was the best offensive production. I understand that the Packers game was huge, but a lot of that was turnovers by the defense, and then we just set up great field position so Jameis would throw touchdowns. This was the best game, in my opinion, I've seen out of Jameis. He was driving the ball consistently until the end of the game where I guess Sean Payton decided to put on handcuffs. I think the large reason why was, number one, for some reason we let Taysom throw a deep ball, which should never ever happen again. And for some reason, Dennis Allen decided to become a horrible defensive coordinator despite being one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. Honestly, you had a rookie corner matched up against Kadarius Toney, who is very, very fast, very elusive, and he was killing you all game long. And for some reason, you decide to not give him any help. You don't decide to let Chauncey or Malcolm Jenkins or Marcus Williams help out on that guy. It just doesn't make any sense why you would do that if you're the defensive coordinator. Also, another thing to worry for the Saints, no pressure. We got no pressure at the end of that game. But you look at Washington. Washington's kind of one of those defensive teams right now that honestly has the ability to be very good. You look at that offense. Everyone knows the defensive line's good. Everyone knows the linebacker core has the possibility of being solid with Cole Holcomb and Jamin Davis. And everyone knows the secondary has the possibility of being very, very good. But the fact is, it has not meshed. And right now they're a very bad defense, which should give Winston an opportunity to pick the team apart. Redskins, on the other hand, their offense has looked rather solid since Heinicke has taken over. You have, obviously, some very explosive offensive threats. You lose Logan Thomas, which really sucks if you're a Redskins fan. But you still have Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuels possibly back this week, not to mention Adam Humphries. Unfortunately, I think De'Ami Brown's out for this week as well as Cam Sims. So those are your 2 of your top receivers, but you lose some, you gain some. And the running backs, obviously, Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissic have both been phenomenal. But I like the Saints here. I think the Saints defense gets back on track. I think you have a deep unit that is top 10 in the league, and I think that's going to make a mess for Heinicke. Plus, the offensive line's not entirely solid. You lose Logan Thomas, so that's another threat right there. I don't know who the heck Demario Davis is going to need to cover because, honestly, I'm not worried about any of the tight ends. Hopefully he works on a running back or something like that. But I think the Saints are going to dominate and win this game.